Hi. Hi, hello and welcome. Welcome back to another Onkruid video. Welcome back to another Heroes of the Storm video. Take 2. Recorded on the same day as the previous Heroes of the Storm video where I was just completely flabbergasted. My head still feels the same. I'm gonna try and cognitively control it a little bit, calm it down, really do as I say, and just take it easy. Friendly team, me on Ragnaros because I have a bruiser tank quest. Sylvanas, Abatur, Junkrat, Hanzo. Both Sylvanas and Junkrat had the little golden circle below them, and as you can see, everybody is high level again. Enemy team, Medivh, annoying. Tassadar, Liming, Thrall, Greymane. High damage game. Both teams are lacking a tank, although I think Thrall can be quite tanky, and Medivh is not necessarily tanky, but just very, very hard to kill. Me, I guess I'm bruiser. I could be a little bit tanky, but it's not the same as having, say, a Diablo or a Stitchers or something like that on your team. I'm excited to see what this Junkrat does, though. Maybe learn a thing or two. If I could, I would literally just observe him throughout the entire game, I guess. I could watch a replay if I am really serious about improving my Junkrat skills, about honing my Junkrat skills. But I don't know if I'm in that deep. Let's choose the ability we want to focus our game on. I think with this team we are not necessarily gonna get into a whole bunch of auto-attack ranges to use my Q to its full effect. Then again, if anybody is gonna do it, I guess I am gonna have to do it, right? Because I don't think anybody else on our team is gonna get up close and personal. I will just go for Sulfira's Hungers for my Empower Sulfira's build. Focused mainly on, like, really the classic old bruiser side of things, smacking people right in the head with your big hammer, with your big flamey hammer. First part of this build, of this talent build, requires us to kill a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of minions with our Q ability, and killing in a sense of, like, really just applying that final hit. Something you normally don't really have to pay attention to in Heroes of the Storm, so it's quite a change of pace, but it's welcome. Thank you, Abatur. I'm just immediately gonna take my sippy cup and not gonna worry about getting hit too much right at the start. All I'm focusing on now is completing that quest, and I hope they will let me, but it doesn't really seem like. Maybe they checked out the top page already in the talent side of things and they immediately notice this is the quest I'm going for and are then trying to prohibit me from doing anything closely resembling getting last hits on minions. They won't stop me forever though. I am a Ragnaros. I can push. I have the power to push and they cannot stop me dead in my tracks for too long. Although that jungle camp is probably gonna provide me with some difficulty. Greymane, an insane bruiser, very good at 1v1s, very good at dealing damage, especially if he hits his abilities, of course, especially if he hits his tonic. His tonic, that ability can really increase the damage he deals to you by quite a ton. And I guess getting some quests stacking up as quickly as possible is also going to be vital to our ability to control this game, to control this top lane at least, which is for now something we are struggling with. I hope Abatur can help us out enough to really deal some damage. In general, I just need to get rid of these fellas right here, because otherwise my entire base will just be in shambles. I do really appreciate the help Abatur is providing me throughout this early stages of the game. I hope the rest of our team is also still doing fine and his focus on me is not taking away his help for them, if that makes any sense. I think it made some sense. I'm gonna play it nice and slow. All I'm doing here is gathering the experience orbs, stacking up my quest. I'm not gonna go too crazy. I'm not gonna go too buck wild on him. I think Abatur really is looking to go buck wild on some people. But I do see Greymane in the mid lane, so that means that I can push up for 1 second. Get some damage on the structures here. Really go all out, and he's already back. Take it nice and easy. Just some auto attacks in there. We're not doing too crazy things. Our self-healing is right up there, self-healing and shielding. Our structured damage is right up there as well. In general, I think we are just like taking... Oh! Oh! You know, my Empower Sulfiras healing there survived, or made me survive rather, so I am quite satisfied with my quick thinking. Maybe my head is not that useless at this point in time after all, although it still feels woozy. It feels hazy, it feels foggy. All words that really emphasize the just not optimal feeling that I am experiencing at this point in time. I did take a little bit of a painkiller, of a dafalganneke, as we say in Belgium, which I think is really beautiful. No, a little bit of a migraine stopper, foggy feeling helper. I hope it's gonna be enough to prevent me being useless for the rest of the night, but I am struggling. I'm struggling producing anything coherent, anything worth producing. I'm just trying my best. Trying my best not to sound like a complete nuisance. I saw a ping on the turret, so I'm gonna try and get some damage in here on these turrets. I feel like we are doing a great job. How is the seed collecting going? Sylvanas is focusing on it at this point in time, and just Sylvanas at that. I don't know if I'm gonna have to help her out. I did spot Li Ming coming to provide us with some trouble here in the top lane, so I'm just gonna diversify my approach a little bit, head into the seed collection business for a second. Try to zone them out. Didn't quite work out yet. I am the bruiser, so I guess I really should do the zoning. They might come in through the top side here. No, they are just giving it to us. 2 out of 3 seeds so far for us. None for the enemy team. Let's hope I am in time to collect this healing globe. Yes, there we go, because I need to collect 15. 15 in order for our quest to take into account. But in general, I think there is also the passive effect involved of just increased regeneration, right? Yes, there definitely is. I know Ragnaros a little bit. He is not one of my main heroes. I wouldn't go out of my way to say that for sure. But I have played some Ragnaros in my time. There we go. Probably didn't need to pop my ult actually there, but I wanted to get in and deal the damage necessary. Okay. We are definitely paying with our lives here, but I think that was worth it. That chase down, I'm not completely sure. We got a little bit of experience out of it, but of course they got experience out of killing me as well. Great job by the Li Ming there. Nice try by the Sylvanas, but it didn't quite work out. Our team is doing a tremendous job at soaking experience. I say that because there is not like a complete deficit in terms of kills. There haven't been crazy fights across the entire map, and still we are ahead an entire level. That's what happens when you have an abattoir on your team, of course. That can definitely help out quite a ton. And there we go. We have the objective to our name. Gonna help us out a little bit more even. A little bit more with pushing, of course. My head shut down for a second there. I just stopped talking. I don't know. I'm a little worried, but not necessarily like too worried. But it is a little bit strange, the things that are happening here in this old brain of mine. For now, I'm just gonna focus on playing some Heroes of the Storm, you know. My commentary is a little bit more balanced than it was in the previous video, at least. I can feel that. In the previous video, I was just rambling, man. Holy shit, it was worrying. It felt like really my head was just struggling. It was begging me to give it a rest to not record the video because I was not in a mental state able to do such a thing, to produce coherent thoughts and communicate them to other people. But I think at this point in time, I'm doing a little bit better. Still not on the top of my game, that's for sure. Especially not until I have completed this quest. But that's more like mixing me as a person and me as a Ragnaros in between. Because me as a Ragnaros, I am kind of on top of my game. I'm playing not necessarily well because I haven't done that many crazy things so far this game, but I'm not playing poorly either. I can be sure about that. Our one ability, yeah, it gives us a little bit of defensiveness. I'll help out our Sylvanas for a second here by trying to kill Medivh. He uses the same ult as me. That is already a great boost to my... Oh, yeah. That's already a great boost to my self-esteem as a Junkrat player, because I know that in general people prefer the Riptire ult, but I don't, and I always worried about, like, am I full of shit or am I just ahead of the competition? I have armor, pussy boy. I am armored up. I don't know if Abatur was on me at that point in time, but I was trusting my own capacities to get rid of that nasty old grey main, and it paid off. Paid dividends. We got some nice gains out of that. Medivh, I'm not willing to deal with you at this point in time, man. I just want to get this turret out of here and then get myself out of here. Oh, that was, I think, the most supreme armor baiting anybody has ever seen in Heroes of the Storm. I waited until the very, very last second to press that one button, and it was not just because I completely forgot about that ability already. No, not in the slightest, right? Right, people? I'll help Sylvanas out with the top camp as well. We are 3 levels ahead. I think this game is a bit of a steamroll in the other direction. That's probably what these high-level Heroes of the Storm games come down to though, right? Just one team completely gobsmacks the other, and it will alternate which team you are on. The losing side, the winning side. But I'm having an equal amount of fun? No, that's going too far. I was kind of touching on my inner stream of experiencing to make sure that I was not calling out BS, and I was definitely calling out BS. It's not an equal amount of fun, but it's definitely still fun compared to the previous game, you know? In the previous game I was already having fun. This is maybe just a little tiny bit more fun. But either way, stomping, it feels nice, but being stomped also felt nice for some reason. I just wanted to play some Heroes of the Storm. Let me really take a look at his talents though. I take that as well, that as well, that also. That's something I don't take. That talent right there, I think I normally take the spread shot activation there. So that's something to learn. Maybe this guy. Well, I don't necessarily have to assume automatically that his strategy is better, right? Because his strategy is something personal for sure, but this guy probably knows a little bit what he's doing at least, right? He has at least level 15 on Junkrat, maybe even higher. We can trust his judgment a little bit, but I don't necessarily know like how far we can go. Let's quickly just pop our passive, because otherwise we will not have done it throughout the entire game. Okay, I guess not. You guys don't want to take this fight. You can't handle this heat. I can assure you that. Okay, maybe they can handle the heat. Maybe I'm a little bit overzealous. I pressed my ultimate on the building instead of on the enemies. Sometimes that happens, you know. Sometimes you just completely fuck up royally. I think gathering this final seed is going to be enough for us to snatch the victory out of the enemy's hands. Not that it necessarily ever was in their hands. I mean, I don't necessarily remember the start of the game exactly, but I feel like we have been in quite a dominating position for the entirety of this episode of this little game, this little Heroes of the Storm game. You know, that's what we're doing. We're playing a little bit of Heroes of the Storm, and I feel like we have been in control of it. Let's aim. Oh yeah. All right, I think our team will do a fine job at gathering that, and we can already start the jungle camp. Nice little tip for the Heroes of the Storm players: if you start a jungle camp before you take the objective, you can still complete the jungle camp, because now you see the rest of the jungle camps are completely disappeared off the map. But if you have started it already, then don't worry, you can just finish off what you started, and you can provide your team with a nice little extra assisting, pushing bonus. Got there in the end. Had to search for my words for a little second, but I did get there. I feel like my commentary was a little bit more coherent this time. I'm more satisfied with what I did in this video, especially because we won. And I showed you guys that I am not just a Junkrat one trick. Thank you very, very much for watching. I don't think we're gonna get MVP. I presume Abatur is gonna get MVP this game. Hanzo with that gay ass skin. I don't have anything against homosexuals. Bye bye.